I want to ask you this. Can you think of a company or a strategic narrative that had a strong impact on your life? That had a strong impact on your life? Okay, so Ashu, thank you so much for sharing the example of Apple here, who for you had a very impactful narrative. And if that's okay with you, maybe you can help us really highlight what you meant by this. But I show it often in my course, in my workshop, Strategic Narrative, the Strategic Narrative workshop. This is what happens when Apple launches a new product. People will camp. People will literally want to be the first. They want to participate. They want to be there. They want to congregate. They want to be included in what Apple does, the first one. And that's a good example. That's a good illustration of the concept that a narrative will mobilize people to do sometimes incredible things. People will pay for a story, but people will almost die for a narrative. So Apple is a great example, I think. Matches really, really that description. And Job was a great storyteller for sure, but he was such a great narrative builder. He was a master at opening the construction of his company to the imagination of people. He really let people decide what they wanted to do with his product, gave them freedom, give them agency, and cater to, I think, a part of our society who was a little bit left on the side.
Yeah.
Another example of a company that had a strong impact recently on my life through different narrative is an app called Focusmate. Focusmate helps you generate flow and inspiration on demand, right? And you're going to go, what? How does this work? It's very simple. You go to Focusmate and you book an appointment with someone and you commit to work in a focused manner in silence together. And before that, my belief, my assumption, my narrative was, yeah, I have to wait until I get inspired to create work. It has to be the right time. It has to be the right conditions. My kids needs to be out of the house. I have to be showered and ready and have a good night of sleep. And Focusmate changed my belief completely and helped me realize that all of that is BS. If you really commit to showing up at a certain time, you will inevitably increase your chances to get in the flow. And since I've been using this app, it has completely transformed my system, my days even. I sleep better and so on. So see, just a simple app can have this radical transformative effect on you. It doesn't have to be just a big brand. But what Focusmate focused on first was not building an app, but really understanding what is the commonly accepted paradigm and how do we change it? And what do we do to really impact people's life? Before they started building the app, they had prototypes that had nothing to do with that app. But because they really constructed this narrative, by the way, the origin of this narrative is the founder has ADHD and was faced with attention deficit and couldn't focus properly, right? And he decided to do something about it and thought, I'm dreaming of a world where I see everyone being able to focus the way they should, right? How would I do about this? Well, it turns out I'm a good engineer. I can code. How about I try an app? And that's my product. Can you kind of see the flow here? That's another example of a very powerful strategic narrative.